Sometimes you have to witness something firsthand before you can believe it's even real. On your own or in a crowd, it really doesn't matter, as long as you're there. We're drawn, like motorcycling moths to a flat-out flame. The closer we can sit, the better. They might be racing between the hedges, but what do those racers think it feels like to be sat in the hedge itself? What is it about this place that keeps them and us coming back for more?
Honestly, you watch. Like, I still watch now and I'm like, nah, that can't be.
You know, I know it does mess with your head a little bit. You sort of say, I don't look like that, do I? Mrs goes, well, you do. You're like, pfft.
You see some of the videos, don't you? People like, fucking hell, you know what I mean? It just like blows you away.
I watch videos that people take from place around the course and you're like, someone speeded that up. Like, I don't think it's that fast, surely not.
Because there's nowhere you can ever get so close to a bike that's going so fast. You feel the waft. Yeah, the bike goes past, then you get it's like a train. You get the aftermath. Shockwave, as they call it.
Yeah, it is nuts, isn't it? It's nuts to watch.
Again, in today's sanitised world where you can't do shit, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't go over 30 miles an hour, you can't do over 70 miles an hour, and anywhere else in the world it'd be like, no, you're not doing that, that's crazy, you're mad, no way, put a line under it. And
I always say as well that I think it's the last like gladiatorial thing that's on the planet, you know. I do some rough stuff and I have done in my life, but this game's another level of neck on the line sort of thing.
It's something that you've got to see with your own eyes to believe it, because you can watch on the telly and think, yeah, that looks quite easy, but when you actually come here and sat at the side of the hedge and you realise how fast the boys are going,
You'll never ever get anything like this. It's blinking unique.
It is completely unbelievable, because you think, well, how can lads do this on open public roads?
If you want to be at the thick of it, you'll do anything you can in motor racing to be there. And yeah, them boys are definitely putting it on a new level for sure. If you've never been here, you've got to come. If you like bikes, even if you don't like bikes, get over. You'll never see anything like it in your life.
I've got friends at home who are watching it and they're like, it looks amazing. And I'm like, but until you're there, you actually see 200 miles an hour on a bend. It's literally on a bend between two tight corners and the straight line in it. You can't get that watching anything on your phone or on a laptop or on TV. Nothing compares. The only time you get that when it whizzes past is when you're there, and you don't see that anywhere else, nowhere else, just here.
You're casually waiting to see the first bike go by, talking to friends you might have only met that day. The crackle on the radio becomes a real-time scream as the race invades your privacy. In a flash, you're left breathless, mind blown, life changed. Everyone remembers their first TT time.
Top of Bray Hill, just after St. Inian's. Is it a school or a church or? And like I had to climb over the fence with my friend Tom Budemos. We were over and we went to watch, and I'd never watched before, and like seeing some bikes come through. It must have been, I think they'd already gone off. Everybody had gone a night of practice, and everybody had gone off to start. So I'd not seen anyone, and then I seen the guys come through like straight away on a flying lap, and it was like, yeah, just mind-blowing really, how you can feel it through the ground and everything. It was, yeah, insane, and that. Honestly, straight away I knew, I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this crazy, nuts thing.
I was sat at Crosby just before the jump in the little hedge on the left-hand side of the track, or right-hand if you're looking back up the track the wrong way. So before the jump, just literally hid in a little bush there. Just watching, being a spectator. It was the first time I'd been to the TT since being a 1-year-old, which obviously I couldn't remember. Came over by myself, rucksack on my back, didn't know where I was going, didn't know who I was seeing. I literally booked a flight, nothing else, and turned up and enjoyed it. Yeah, it was ace. I knew then that it was the thing that I wanted to have a go at.
My first real memory of the TT is just watching it on TV. I always said to my dad, when I'm older, I'm going to do the TT, and then some racing that I've been involved with over the last few years gets in the way, and then all of a sudden you're not on that pathway. But me and a friend who are over with now, we've just been saying, would you do it? Would you do it? Should we do it? And it's like, we can't, because we know what's involved in doing it. But yeah, first memory watching it on TV back home and saying I want to do it one day, but never have, unfortunately.
So from TV memories as a kid to the real deal, beyond 3D, you need to be closer to the edge of the hedge. If you've ever wondered what addiction feels like, this is it. You must have more. You'll never forget that first taste, but where would you send someone to get a sense of what it feels like to be a true TT fan?
There's no, like, if anyone ever says to me, oh, I've just got off the boat, where do you want to go watch? Let's go watch at Braille. Because it's almost mind-blowing.
The easy one is probably bottom of Bray Hill for a first taste, because you've got the experience of coming to the grandstand first, meeting the riders, having a look round at the teams, and then if they just take a short trip down to the bottom of Bray Hill, you get a proper experience of what you're in for.
Well, I've watched in a few places. I like Balagary, and I like, I've just forgot what it's called again. Oh, it's down on, they took under a little house and it's in the bottom of a big dip. Begara. No, the jump one. Balaf.
I'm just with the locals, following the locals round. I think they know exactly where the right spots are to watch the racing.
Balacry was a prime spot. I come around then, I thought, bloody hell, I'm going to do that in a few months' time.
Balacry is always spectacular, isn't it?
Watched at Greba and fast, flat out.
There's probably a couple of places. I mentioned one before, Milltown. That's where I grew up watching. That's one standout place I would always recommend someone go and stand and watch, because it's so fast. There's loads of action there. You can hear bikes coming from Solby.
Conkerfields was pretty spectacular. I remember going to watch there for the first time, and 400 people that were there all took a gasp of breath. You could hear it.
All fans have their favourite spots, including the fan's favourite himself. Where does he go to get his fix when he can't race here, and what does he expect?
Well, I was a super fan in 18 when I couldn't ride. I came in 17, I was a bit doolally. Came in 18 and then didn't ride again because of my leg still. But we went to Union Mills, Gosley, Cronkervody, Up Mountain. It was like we were everywhere. Geared up, me, missus and that, were off watching, and blew me away. Just absolutely unreal speeds. Weather was off the chart, and I got that feeling of what the fans are actually seeing, And I witnessed that first 135 lap that Hickey did. I wasn't in the race, but I knew where he was on track. I knew what he was going through, what he was feeling and stuff. And I just said to somebody, there was some guy waffling in my ear, I said, look mate, just watch this, just listen to the radio, you're going to see something really special on this lap. And then 135 arrives, and he picked Dean to the post, and
it was just incredible. And Dean Harrison, the part he played, 33 time sectors leading, and then Peter Hickman fastest in the last three when it counts, and then I say Dean Harrison breaking the lap record for about 40 seconds, and then Peter coming across the line. That was just unreal.
Go down as one of the greatest races ever, so it's hard for that perfect storm to happen. Yeah, for the fans to witness that was unreal.
So here comes Peter Hickman across the line. He wins the senior TT at 135.4 miles an hour. We've witnessed history.
Sharing a lap record pace and writing modern TT history along the way. So what do you mean to them? More than you'll ever know. Watching, listening, wondering, marshalling, cheering, racing, losing or winning. Every single one of us plays our part.
The road race fans are a bit more hardcore, aren't they? What do you think?
It's a hard one to say, because every motorbike fan is different to every other fan, I'd say.
I think the diehards You know, maybe you can call them true road racing fans, definitely are, you know, a different breed.
To go and sit on a hedge and wait and wait and wait, be prepared to spend all that holiday time coming here, and
the fact that they go through that much effort to put into coming to watch and making the TT what it is, like I say, I have full respect. And to come and watch 60 people ride down Bray Hill, loving like what they love to do.
I think there's definitely something about the TT, and you need to be the right frame of mind to come here to put yourself through what the boys go through.
The passion that the lads put into it, I think, comes over to the fans. And that's why the fans love it so much, because they know how much it means to us, so they can feed off that a little bit.
You go on the start line here, you can cut the atmosphere with a knife almost. The tension on the start line, you can feel, even when you're not racing yourself, you can feel the atmosphere. Do you know what I mean?
You know, I don't know if it's the risk and the danger that everybody's putting themselves in out there, but everybody sort of recognises that everybody's here to do the same thing and has that respect for each other doing it. It's mad. I feel like that should happen everywhere.
Because they've got ultimate respect, they know that the lads are putting their life on the line for their passion.
I would say they're just like a passionate fan, and that's exactly what I am. If I wasn't racing down Bray Hill, I'd be sat at the side of the hedge exactly like them and living for the moment.
I'm a fan, and when I pack in, I'll come back as a fan. You know, I'll still park my camper in the motor or in the paddock, and I'm sure there's a little bit I can give back to the sport that's given me so much joy.
This is live TT coverage on TT Plus, the only place for breathtaking, exhilarating, edge-of-your-seat action. The only place for heroes, record breakers and history makers. The only place for unmissable moments and speed like no other. Absolutely incredible. Dean Harrison through Gorse Lee, always a man on a mission. We're on for a race, folks. Oh, Michael Dunlop. Ben and Tom Birchall have 11 victories. Davey Todd leads at Glen Helen, doing the business. This is the Isle of Man TT races. Every qualifying and every race, live and on demand. Get your TT Plus Live Pass today and secure your place at TT 2023.